Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Luna and I make Animal Crossing videos every single week. So if you're into that, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. If I sound a little different, that is because I am getting over a cold and that's not going to stop me from making this video. So in my last video, I did mention that I finally got Bunnie after a long and brutal villager hunt. So today I will be decorating her house. I will be placing her house over here, which is this large section that I have next to my resident services. I was thinking about putting my Nook's Cranny here, but I have some plans for my shops in a future video, so I decided to decorate a villager home instead, so I went with Bunnie. But yeah, let's go ahead and start the build because this one is going to be a little longer. We have a lot to decorate today, which makes me super excited. You guys know how much I love decorating. But for Bunnie's yard, I am going to create a couple of waterfalls and a couple of little rivers around her house. And I want to create some interesting pathways, something similar to what I did behind Poppy's house, but a bit smaller. The reason why I am creating little interesting landscaping is because in the movie that I'm basing this island off of, which is the original Alice in Wonderland, the cartoon version, there are so many twists and turns and so many things happen. So I wanted to kind of create these pathways to resemble all of those twists and turns that you see in the movie. Also, in my island, I am going to be using a lot of the Bunnie Day items. I feel like the Bunnie Day items are the best representation of Alice in Wonderland, of course, along with the mushrooms and pansies. I do use a lot of pansy flowers. I'll be honest, pansy flowers are not my favorite type of flower in this game, but after using them for a while now, they're starting to grow on me. I'm going to show you guys how the waterscaping turned out, just in case you want to do this on your island and you want to see how it looks or what you have to do to carve it out. So this is how the front of Bunnie's house will look like, and this is how the other part looks. Just like a lot of items in this game, I haven't used them before this theme, and now that I'm starting to use them, I'm just like, why didn't I use these items before? Which is a good thing, and I'm hoping I'm inspiring some of you guys to get back on your island and start decorating. So now I'm going to start adding the flowers, the bushes, and some custom designs. The main path that I'm going to be using all over my island is the red mushroom dirt path. I will leave all of the codes that I use in this video in the description below. I promise I will create a video with all of the design codes for this island. I'm not going to lie, I've been very distracted lately. I've been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley for the past week now, and I am completely obsessed with that game. I will be creating a separate series on my channel for Disney Dreamlight Valley, kind of like a gameplay or a let's play. I haven't done one of those on my channel before, so this is going to be very fun and interesting. I will still be doing Animal Crossing videos on my channel, but I feel like Disney Dreamlight would be better as a let's play just because there's so many things in that game that I can do that I can't do in Animal Crossing. Also, I've been collecting a lot of furniture in that game because I want to eventually do a video where I'm decorating the outside of my house and the inside of my house, basically everything. Anything that has to do with decorating, I want to record it for you guys, so it'll be fun. Plus, I have a lot of commentary to add to that game, so if you're interested in that, stick around. I will be posting that video sometime next week, so have your post notifications on so you don't miss out on that video. But yeah, now that I got that out the way, that was like my little secret announcement. But let's get back to the build. As I'm working on this build, I'm going to share with you guys what I do every week because I get this question a lot, which is how do I know where to place certain items? And the answer to this is I do plan my builds before I record them, and that is only because it helps me save time with editing. So this whole build that you see probably is about 10 minutes long, but for me it actually took me probably a whole day or two to decorate. So the way that my mind works is I look at an area and I decide whether I'm going to put a villager home, my home, or one of the shops or the museum. But if I'm not going to place any of those down, I will go back to the movie and decide which scene I'm going to create. I originally wanted to create the tea party in this area instead, but I realized that was more in the middle of the movie, so I couldn't add it here just yet. So I decided to add Bunnie here instead. And then next I will create the forest area where the twins are. And then I don't know what else I'm gonna do after that, but I know it'll come to me eventually. Once I have an idea of what I'm going to place, place. I start playing around with the placement of the flowers and the items until I like how it looks. I also take inspiration from real life photos, or in this case, from the movie. So yeah, I can go in more depth about how I decorate in another video. If you guys are interested, I could do that for you guys. But I am hoping one of my villagers come up to me and tell me they want to leave, because I want to get Francine and Chrissy already so that I can create the other section that I was talking about. But watch me say that and nobody wants to leave. That always happens to me. When I want them to leave, they don't leave. And when I don't want them to leave, they leave. Story of my life. Speaking of stories, I just thought of another story to tell you guys about a villager that I absolutely hate that was once on my island. And I don't hate any villagers except for this one. I think they are all unique in their own way, and I don't like to talk bad about a villager because that could be someone's dream villager and you're out here talking bad about them and it could hurt someone's feelings, and I'm not here for hurting anyone's feelings. But if this villager is your dream villager, I want to say in advance, I am so sorry, but it's not you, it is the villager. But before I get to the story, I want to quickly mention that my Elgato capture card has turned against me and it froze, and it didn't capture me putting Bunnie's house down. But here is me showing you her house after I already placed it. But okay, now back to the story. But the villager that I hate with a passion is Ricky, and I have a valid reason. So Ricky was an autofill because at the time I didn't have enough tickets to villager hunt, so I just let the game decide which villager I get. So like I mentioned, Ricky was an autofill. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little judgmental at first because he looked a little mean, but I decided I'm going to give him a chance. Maybe I'll grow to like him, maybe. Every time I logged on, at least one villager will come up to me and tell me that they had a fight with Ricky. What really crossed the line was Ricky had a fight with Marshall, and you guys know Marshall is my baby. I protect him at all costs, and he's my favorite villager in this whole game. So if you have a problem with him, you have a problem with me. So I was plotting to kick him out of my island. I was googling ways to kick out a villager quick because I couldn't stand him at this point. I remember I put fences around his house so that he wouldn't leave, and tell me how a few minutes later I go to the Able shop and I see him shopping. I went back to his house to see if I missed a spot, but no, the fences were still there. The fences are as tall as him, so I don't know how he got out. I'm not gonna lie, I did hit him a bunch of times with my net and he yelled at me. Like really loudly, he yelled at me. And from there, I was like, count your days, Ricky. Eventually, after I ignored him for a couple of weeks, he left. So that was my story of the worst villager I've ever had on my island. If you had a similar experience with a villager, let me know in the comments. I would love to read your stories. But yeah, I am almost done with this build. But for this right side, I'm just going to decorate it a little bit. But in a future video, I think I'm going to create like a little opening or a pathway that will lead you straight to the forest where the twins are. And then hopefully I could get Bob so I can work on the Cheshire little section that I have in mind. I think I might finish this island way faster than my last two islands, and I'm really loving this new theme. It's really taking me out of my comfort zone, which you guys know is fairy core, but this was a good transition away from that. And then I went back and added this red flower mushroom custom design to just fill up some of that empty space. Here is how the build ended up looking. I found this spot up here that gave a nice view of the whole area. I absolutely love this area and how it turned out. It came out so nice, better than I expected. Here is how this section looks next to the resident services. I love this section so much. It's a nice little transition into Bunnie's house, and you have two different ways to enter here. This is how Bunnie's front yard looks. I love the pops of color everywhere, and I feel like this yard really fits her, and I hope she enjoys it. I see her here all the time, so I think she does. Here is how the little pathway looks. Love the little section on the right where you can come here and sit down and read a little book. I definitely love the new plaza bench. Definitely fits this theme. And here's how the last part looks. Ignore all of my white flowers that are on the beach, but other than that, I love this little section. You could definitely come here and eat your little cherry pie and just relax. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, let me know channel by hitting the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. I will be posting my first Let's Play video sometime next week, so have your post notifications on so you don't miss out on that video. I love you all so much. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.